I broke these off of a Palmetto, and I'm gonna see if I can make an ember with it. I'm gonna make a spindle and a fireboard out of this. Yeah, I think it's doable. This section is twisted, but it looks like it's pretty straight. So I like to make my spindle about a foot long. Yeah, so that nugget right there is what I'm after. I'm gonna shave that down until I get something round. When you're shaving stuff down with a knife, it's best to go as close to your hand as you can, because that's got the least leverage. If you try to carve way out here with the blade, that's a lot of force back on your hand. But right here, it's better. So this end is naturally thinner, so I'm going to make this the point for my bearing block. This is my bearing block. I made it out of a stone that I found in a stream in the mountains. Not really very many stones where I live. Starting to get more around. It doesn't have to be perfect, especially if you're in a hurry. But it's probably best to not get in a hurry. Just if you have to do something like this to survive, I mean, then probably your situation is not very good. And getting in a hurry and not remaining calm it's not a good idea. You might cut yourself or something, and that will just make your situation much worse. Gonna put a point on this end for the bearing block. You want it to be pretty sharp, because as it's spinning, it's going to get more and more blunt. So if you start out as sharp as possible, then by the time you get an ember, it's not so blunt that you're wasting a lot of your friction on your bearing block. Especially if you're using a wooden bearing block, that's way worse. Yeah. And then this end can be just kind of rounded off. I like to leave it pretty fat. That should do the trick. And then fireboard. I'm just going to flatten the top out. I need a place to put my foot. And I'm going to flatten this out too so it doesn't rock back and forth. Not too much though, you want to leave some meat up there. If you make your fireboard too thin, the spindle will, or could, go all the way through before you get your ember. Like that. Then we need something to catch the ember with. Gonna make a divot. All right, let's do a burn in. All right, so I'll bring the hot end up on the inside of the string. And I'm going to twist that away from me because that makes the string not rub together. When you're pumping it back and forth, you don't want that. You want that. And it feels a little loose. Oh yeah, also another reason to put it on the outside is because I want to utilize as much of the string as possible, and when you get down here, if it's on the inside, you lost that much. And it's something to think about. I mean, if your spindle is much larger than that, it would matter. I mean, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of all preference. Let me go ahead and tighten this string up a little bit. That feels about right. I might need to adjust it. Posture is extremely important when you're trying to start a bow drill fire, especially if you're just learning. I'll do more. I'll do a video in more detail about posture. For right now, we're just trying to see if Palmetto can be used. Feels good. Wow, seems pretty hot. Okay, we'll cut the notch. About 30 degrees. Not quite to the center. All right, let's try for an ember. I'm gonna go slow first because I don't want to see that dust piling up in there. If you go too fast, if you get your ember too fast, it's gonna be very small. And I want a big fat ember. So nice and easy. Now I got a chunk of dust in there. Yep, looks good. All right, go faster. Looks like we have success. I guess that answers the question, can you use palm fronds to make a friction fire? The answer is yes. So you see how much of that divot was consumed getting that ember worked up. I almost penetrated. I mean, it is like paper thin right there in the middle. So there you have it. Palm fronds for friction fire, including the spindle. Catch you next time. Peace.